What's going on, guys? Keith here, Two Guys How To. June's with me, and today we're just going to show you guys how to fix your welder. This is one that's it's a Hobart Handler 175, and it's a 220 outlet. So we're going to show you how to fix it. Basically what we've been having is it's a lot of popping and spitting going on as you're using maybe a flux cord wire, but we're not using flux, we're using gas. You can see the gas is right there, and we changed the wire out to a gas type wire with no flux.
Yeah, positive electrode.
Yeah, and when you change it out from flux core wire or positive, you need to swap your wires around that are hooked up right down there. So be sure to check your chart. We swapped everything around. We were using flux on this welder, but June wants to go to gas on this bigger one. So we've got the gas hooked up. You've got your gauges set right? Yep, right there where the microns are.
Right around 15.
Yeah, we're at 15 there, so everything's good. The problem we think we're having with it is the lining inside this snake going to your gun. There's a lining in there that actually goes to the positive. So June bought a new one. You can see it right there. It looks kind of like a brake cable, and it lines inside that cable, the gun of the cable there. And if you see in here, you see the cable coming in, your gun, it actually hooks up to your wheel that pulls this spool. This motor turns here, and that's what feeds the wire to your gun here. And this has to be positive charged, and your ground goes to your clamp. So we cleaned that clamp, we checked everything, lubed everything, we're still having the problem. So we're thinking the problem is inside this cable. Somewhere in the cable might be just dirty, or that flux core wire he used to use a long time ago, coated.
Very first welder.
Yeah, that's June's very first welder.
What I learned.
So inside here could be coated though with that flux coating, and when he goes to use the gas, it's not making that wire, the wire that's fed through it, hot enough, and it should make a hissing noise. It should go tss, and it's not. It's spitting and popping. So we're going to do a taste test, a sample on this piece of metal here. He's going to weld half on the welder as it is now, and we're going to do the other half once we show you how to change out the lining and see if we get a better result. So let's do this. All right, and this is test one before we change the lining out to see if the hissing noise that we want, that snake noise, is there. And you can already hear it, all that fireworks going on. We had 4th of July going there. The weld isn't that bad actually, but it should hiss. It shouldn't throw all that splatter. So let's go ahead and change out the inner core of that gun, where the flux, the wire, the non-flux wire is going to feed up through there, our MIG wire. So let's change that out and see if we get a better result. All right, so let's start off. Let's get the lining, that brand new lining, back in here. We're going to cut the head of this welded wire off. That way we can pull it back through. And be sure to throw that out or put that somewhere where you don't run over it, it'll pop your tire.
This just pops off.
So we'll take the head off there. And we had a brand new tip on here, and we're going to do the same on this next trial run to see if we fix it.
A lot of people tighten those down there. I've never tightened them down.
And it's got a little 10 mil. Where's the 10 mil wrench?
Oh, that goes here. Once you pull it out.
So we're over at the unit now.
Once you pull this out, you'll use this.
Hopefully you guys can see it.
Right now,
really in the sun.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to wind this wire back up.
Yeah, he's going to pull the wire out. Basically, you're going to see it come out of the tip here. He's going to back pull it down and right into there.
That'd save you like 10 feet or whatever.
Yeah, that would save a good 10 foot of wire. The wire's expensive now. Coming through those pullers.
You know what you do is you release the tension off of that roller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Release that tension wheel and then just back roll it. Save that wire.
keep your hand here, because if that thing comes out, and then this is just going to burst.
Yeah, it'll fling everywhere. So we're going to make sure when we get the wire back out.
Probably do this, and that way you can see it once it pops out.
That up there like that.
Once it comes out of there, you gotta stop. Yep, right there, see?
Boom. And you can always hook that back into the reel itself. I saw a hole there on the side.
Right there.
You're just gonna get in there and bend it. We'll cut that bend off later when we feed it back through. Yeah, good.
That holds it on the wheel. Now all you're going to do here is...
Let me pull this out a little bit so they can see it in the sun. I don't know if they can see that or not.
See that?
Yeah.
Here you got your... This just works the trigger. You just pop these out.
So you got your... you got this thing unplugged?
No.
I would probably unplug it first before we're in here. For one, we're not thinking today, but you got these two plugs here that operate that handle, the trigger. So he's going to unplug those two connections right there. And I don't know if you guys can see those. It's so dark in here. Right there is good. And these two connections right here, pull those out. The unit's unplugged. And we'll grease those up with some dielectric grease later. You just gotta undo that little wing nut right there, and that's actually what locks your gun plug-in, the whip part in. And it's got some gasket and seals there and stuff. So if you're having a problem with your gas leakage or something like that, you can always fix those. You wanna make sure those orifices right in there are clean.
Then you're gonna take this end off. I'll just use a little.
So we'll take the head, the gun head off here. We just got a crescent wrench. That'll pop out, and that's actually connected to the snake.
There's the liner right there.
Yep. So we got a 10mm nut there. So on the opposing end, this part went into the machine. We got a 10mm nut. Take that off. That's the part that's connected to the whole inner insert, the snake part.
Yep, that's your liner.
Yeah, so, and it's got a gasket too as well.
You basically want to get this thing, just lay it out flat.
Yeah, lay it out flat on the ground.
Just give it a tug. Here she comes.
Give it a tug. You can see this one has, the new one didn't come with that blue.
I think it was black on that.
Front liner.
I think it was black on the new one.
The new one does have that? Okay.
Yeah, black.
Sweet.
Different color.
So you can see right there, there's the end that went into the unit itself back there where the spool was, the wire. Whoops. There's your end unit right there that goes into that gun. You can see it.
That's probably the bad spot right there.
Yeah, and you can see right there, it looks like it's a little dirty. He's got a couple other ones there, but this one seems to be the main one, but it could just be the whole,
There's another one there.
the whole inner lining of this thing is coated in that flux. And there's another one, just from this thing sitting, he had it sitting in the garage at his dad's for who knows how long. His dad had it before we got it back. And a brand new one. On this particular Hobart, I think he got this from what? You're an Amazon?
Amazon, yep.
Amazon guy.
It's a 15-foot liner, but that gun's nowhere near 15 foot, so we're just gonna cut it down.
Yeah, it's 15 foot here. The gun's probably 10, 12. So we're gonna cut the end of it, and you can see the part number here is a 194-011. MIG gun liner, 15 foot. And it's got another number, a CV Charlie Victor 12-00601HR.
I can't remember what this costs, maybe 10, 15 bucks.
15 bucks. So let's go ahead and put this thing back in there, slide it in the same way as we took the other one out. And on the end where the 10mm nut isn't, we're gonna cut it off out there at the gun, the torch part. So let's go ahead and get this thing in and see if our theory is correct with the grounding. All right, so we're ready to push this thing back through. This one came with that black extra kind of an extra slide of reinforcement, which is nice. The other one was blue, but they're the same. They're still the same. So I'm gonna hold one end of this thing, and June's gonna feed that other one down in there. back into that gun whip. It's getting stuck right there at the end. Let's see what's going on with that. There we go.
Hit that bend.
And it hit that bend. So here it is coming out. And you can see how much longer it is. If I lay it out here on the asphalt, it's a good 5 feet too long. But he'll cut it right there at the tip, right where we need it. And throw the rest away. Actually, probably use that thing. We'll fix something with that. Run a cable through it. So let's go ahead and get this thing buttoned back up. He's tightening that 10mm nut back there at the whip part that goes into the actual unit. And it comes preset at about a 1/2 inch depth off of there. And it came with a new O-ring, right?
Yep.
So everything should plug back into this unit. So let's do that, cut the tip, run our new wire back through it, and see if this thing is working better. So he's just running those cables back through there. And he's getting it buttoned back up.
Just give it a little wiggle. It'll go in there.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. Snug it. Don't have to overkill.
No. Just he push that whip in there, tighten down that wing nut that holds it in. Got the 2 wires that go back up on there. Plug those back in. Everything looks good.
Good there. Over here we got just cut off the end of it.
You want to bring it over here to the table. You can see how much longer that is right there. So he's just going to cut that thing down. We got a good pair of these clippers we've had forever. And,
but once you cut it, if you get a burr on it, you might have to file it. So that's why I brought the file out.
We'll cut the tip off. If the hole looks a little closed at all, we'll reopen it back up, file the end.
You want it pretty close to the end.
Hard cable. There you go. You want a good pair of snippers.
Yeah, she's got a little burr.
A little bit. We'll take the flat file to that. I think it'll push through. Go ahead and put that head back on there, screw that on.
Good snug. We don't want to do the tip yet because we got.
Yeah, we don't want to put the tip on. Now we're going to go ahead and feed this wire back up through there. So you're going to want those snips. Take that bent wire that you locked up into the spool again and run it up through there. Hard to see. It's shadow here.
This you want to make it straight. You want to. It's pretty straight right now. We got to run it up through here.
Pretty dark down in here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. And he's just taking that wire right off the spool, back up into that feed.
Just got to go right up in that hole there. Yep.
Feed it right in that wire right there.
Now I'm just going to
that at all.
I'm just going to lock that down. Can you see it?
Yeah, and then you see it right there. This top roller here. Let's see if I can get up in there. That top roller is going to pinch down on that wire. You lock that in. There's your safety lock right there, and that's your tensioner. And you can adjust this up on how tight you really want it. We've got it kind of set where we want it. We're going to plug the unit back in and then hit the trigger, and it'll feed that wire off that roll right back up through that whip, back out to the front of the gun there. So it's hard to see over here. Probably should have pulled everything out in the dang sun. still shady on this whole side. We should have turned the machine around, but let's just do it. You got it plugged in, turned on. So hit that tip right there, the gun, or hit the feed.
See that air come out?
Yeah, you can hear the gas. Feed is right up in there. Just like that. Come right out that tip. There's flow right there. So now you can go ahead and put your head on. That's how you rewire this thing. If you run out of, if it comes preset or whatever, that's how you refill it and run your new wire up through there. We're running a gasless wire this go around. Before you had that flux core wire, now we're going gasless wire. So it's a different, totally different wire. You don't want to run flux coated wire with the gas. You want to use flux core wire with no gas, non-flux coated wire with the gas. You get a way better weld. So we're ready to do our sample check 2.
Testing.
Weld A versus weld B. So it's a moment of truth. I guess turn the gas back on. Let's go ahead and lay down our test bead here and see if we get that hissing noise that we want. Alright, so we're going to run test 2 on it with the new liner. The gauges are all set the same. We didn't change anything. The microns on the gas is the same. Everything's the same. We're going to see if this fixes our problem that we wanted. We'll see if the fireworks happen on this one.
Much better weld, for sure.
Still a lot of fireworks, but look at the weld difference. The weld's total penetration. It's got a nice, almost kind of a layered pattern versus the other one. You see all this slack around there, all the little pellets that stuck to the metal. Got more removal, more cleanup, and way less cleanup on that one. And you can see the bead right there. It's just a sweet, solid bead. So,
try one more. I'm going really hot. It's like really hot.
You see how hot even the first one, turn that over. Then the first one melted through, and the second one is steady. It melted through, but just enough, not overly burnt. So the first time, with all that grounding issues and stuff, it's just an ugly, nasty. You're gonna destroy stuff. He's used to the Lincolns.
After you use that?
Yeah, after you use that, you can't go with that. It's like using a Harbor Freight Chicago pneumatic one. So he says this thing's going for sale. If you want it, pay for shipping, email us. And there's a disappointed Hobart owner right there, but he has access to all of those, so he doesn't even need that really. The good thing with this is it's 220. It will throw down a thicker bead, a deeper penetration than those two 140s, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's not my standard.
So, Keith, Two Guys How To, June's right there. You saw it from us. We changed some stuff out, and there could be something we're missing, but I think just the Hobart versus the Lincoln is just no match when you throw them in the ring together. So we're out of here. Two Guys How To. Check out the other videos. Hopefully this helps you. And we're out to fix something else. Peace. What's up, Iggy? Talk to him before I shut the video down. Oh yeah. Yep. You're not a pig, you're a lawyer. He's not a pig, he's a lawyer. Peace. I'm not a pig, I'm a lawyer.